Did you know there's a Gundam horse? As in a four-legged, giant, mecha robot horse. And did you know it's piloted by an actual horse? As in a flesh and blood, four-legged, legit horse. Well, that right there is Fuunsaiki from G Gundam. It's available as a model kit, which is awesome, and you can get it inside of this box right here. This is the real grade expansion set for God Gundam, which, in a way, isn't a real grade at all. As usual, because this is a monochromatic box in black and white, that does mean that this is a premium Bandai exclusive, so I would not have been able to do this review if it wasn't for those absolutely fantastic people over at BUYEE. So if you want one of your own, you can get it over there. But that isn't the only thing that comes in here, as you can see. This isn't even the main image on the box, it's this stuff here, that thing there, and that stuff right there. However, that does just amount to this right here, a bunch of fiery attack effects that aren't unlike things we would have seen before with other full high-grade releases and option sets, so it is worth considering before you spend all of your valuable money on this if you can get these sort of things elsewhere. But anyway, let's get into checking it all out. So anyway, checking out Fuunsaiki first. So there's everything that comes inside the box. Bandai laid it out for me, so I'm not going to actually do it myself. And I have to admit, this is one of the most awesome Gundam model kits around. So first off, just in case you don't know, this is essentially fixed pose. So there is some mild articulation in the legs. There's ball joints in these little hoof bits. This moves a little bit like so, but these joints right here, these are absolutely fixed. They're just a kind of little square segment holding these on. So you're not going to get anything out of this without severe modification. The front legs can move up at multiple points like so. Once again, these are all quite limited. These are ball joints, but you're really not going to change much of the pose, and it's always going to look, well, a little bit awkward besides in one rearing pose. So I guess the best way to look at this kit is almost like a bit of a glorified action base. Having said that, this is one hell of a display base. This thing is absolutely ridiculously awesome. Once again, I will mention this is the exact same kit that we would have seen however many years ago when it was released with the Master Gundam, which is still available right now if you want to get that with the Master Gundam. Cheaper. Now, I will mention this is straight built out of box besides one thing. I'll mention that in a second, but I really wish I had got the time to paneline this to get all of the nice detailing out. Even though this thing isn't crazy detailed, it's got detail in all of the right places. When finished up, painted the way that needs to be painted, this can and will look incredible. There are a couple of issues out of box, of course. It is a simple little model kit, and I guess let's talk about those. This kit right here is very classic when it comes to the seam lines. It's got a seam line up the middle of absolutely everything. Its head, its neck, its body, its dick. Can we get much higher? So high. But yeah, when it comes to the color accuracy on this, you're going to want to grab yourself some paints because there's a whole lot of missing gray on here. So as for these stickers right here, these are primarily for on the hooves. All four of those will be requiring a sticker, and the cheeks up here. These are meant to be in gray, but the only thing I had knocking around was a metallic gunmetal Gundam marker, so that's what I used on there, but that's meant to be gray. And the eyes, these are the stickers, so you may want to use some metallic green on there. But that is not all. We actually do have some other color inaccuracies, as you can see right here. Even the stand is color inaccurate. It is meant to be in gray, but it's all of that yellow that is the biggest issue here. This rear section right here on the hooves, this is meant to be in a yellow. That's all four of those on the horse's ankle. Well, I suppose technically that is a horse's ankle, isn't it? This is more like its toe. Extremely not important right now, but this part on the face, that is meant to be in a yellow as well. And the horn up there on I nearly called it Funashi. Wow, yeah. That horn right there, that is also meant to be in yellow. However, besides that, this thing right here does look absolutely and utterly incredible. It just needs a lick of paint. In order to get the God Gundam mounted up here, you do need to remove a segment of Fuunsaiki's back. It just pops out just like so, simple as. According to the instructions, you need to drop God Gundam's legs into the forward position, just like so. Make sure to do that or he won't fit. And then you just have to pop him on like so, making sure that his long old crotch flap goes down into that groove in Fuunsaiki's back. And then that looks a little bit something like this right here, which is quite nice. Now we're meant to have the effects on its back, and by its, I mean God Gundam, so let's get that done. So in order to do that, we need this little bit of an adapter segment right here that comes in the expansion box. This then requires this set of rings off of the standard God Gundam release, as well as the bit of an adapter on here, because it is essentially like this adapter, just it holds all the parts out a little bit further. So in order to set this thing up, it's exactly the same as what we would have seen inside of the real grade kit, except it is a little bit different. You just pop all these circles onto it. These hold on absolutely perfectly, very nice, but you will need one segment of the actual real grade God Gundam itself, and that's the part that attaches into its back. Attach these all together, stick it into the back of the God Gundam, fire the God Gundam back onto the back of the horse, and this is what it looks like in the end. So like I said, this may just be a sort of glorified stand, but by God, is this one hell of a display right here. So, one thing that you will not get if you buy the Fuunsaiki with the Master Gundam or some effects separately or something like that is you will not have this extension aspect for holding those rings round back. Now, you could make a custom one yourself fairly easily, I assume, but on the whole, this looks absolutely impressive. This is cool. I'm impressed. That is nice. Gundam Horse! So besides the Fuunsaiki horse and the part for holding the rings a little different, what we get in here is a full action base 4, or is that a 5? They're pretty much the same, as well as a bunch of different effects. This one here for the Godfinger, a whole bunch of burning fist effects, and this here for the Sekiha Tenkyouken. So first off, those hyper mode rings are too heavy for the God Gundam to stand up with. That is where the action base comes in. It's always nice to get an action base included, and this just attaches on into the new adapter segment round back and does this. So we're going to start off with the Godfinger effect. In order to use this, you do need to use the Godfinger hand that comes included with the real grade God Gundam. This kit does come with a stand. You've just got the one, so you have to share it among all the effects, and same goes to these little flame effects right here. These have to be shared with the Sekiha Tenkyouken. But as for now, this is just that standard little stand that you get with all of these Bandai effects. This is just for lining it up with the hand, which you can do so by just going like this. It moves nice and smooth, so it gets the job done nicely. So it is a simple enough effect. It does exactly what it needs to do. Once the Godfinger effect is placed around that Godfinger hand, it does look pretty cool. Here's what it looks like in a pose, what it will look like in an action pose, and this is quite nice. Again, a simple effect, but it gets the job done and gets it done nicely. Those flame effects crackling off it look particularly nice. So nice it seems that Bandai only decided to give you the one, so getting God Gundam out of the way. And next up, we're going to be taking a look at this right here. Now, when you're building this actually has a sticker to attach on the inside of it, which is a pretty cool effect, and it does work out well in the end. So we've got that logo inside of that. This is the Sekiha Tenkyouken, and as far as I know, Seki has the Japanese for sexual harassment. And like I mentioned, these crackling pieces back here, these look very nice. So nice, in fact, Bandai included only one set, and you do actually require them to be the crackling effects for the ball of sexual harassment. So these plug in very, very simply, and I will mention this does not require a stand. It actually has a handy dandy little adapter attached into the back of it like so. So in order to attach this, you just open up the flaps in the chest of the God Gundam just like so, and this plugs on in super simply. This works out perfectly, it's snug, it's perfect, and it looks absolutely stupendous. This looks great. This is what it looks like once it's attached, and honestly, this is probably the most unique thing in here when it comes to the actual plastic. You can't get it anywhere else, and it just looks damn cool. So last up in here, we've got a bunch of punching effects, so big old flaming fists, and these, compared to any kind of fire punches we've seen in the past with other kits, actually have the end of a fist molded into the end of them. Well, it's quite unique and looks pretty damn cool. So in order to set this up, you do have to steal once again, and that is the stand that we would have had the Godfinger effect on. If you do have other effects or have bought other effect kits, you probably have a couple of these tiny little bases around, or you could use any action base with these effects. So there is only one included, but it is compatible with anything with a 3mm peg on it. Then you'll need to get some suitable hands for using with your real grade God Gundam, probably the fists, that would make sense. Slap them on, and then just get him into a suitable punching pose and get these flame effects out in front of him. This does look really good. This is one of those ones that you have to eke it a little bit and kind of move the fists, move the arms, everything just to make it look right, so you're kind of hiding the action base. But when you do, it does look incredibly cool. Just pop the arm into one of them, and this looks like he's firing out a flurry of flaming punches. I will also mention that the stand can sometimes get in the way of some poses like what you're seeing right here, because there's so much actually attached to the back of these flame effects. But on the whole, this works out, and works out pretty damn well. So once again, that right there is it for the review. This is only an option set, so I'm not actually going to rank this, but it is a nice option set. Once again, some of the elements in here like the horse and the stand you can get separately. All of the effects in here are unique to this kit, but there are some other ones out there that are similar, but not the same. You're not going to get the same sort of crackling cool effects that match with this. So I guess it comes down to, do you really love your real great God Gundam and want to give it more of a crazy display? Then that is exactly what this is designed for. Honestly, at the end of the day, I am super impressed. I want to leave my God Gundam up on the back of that Fuunsaiki forever. It just looks so good. It's an ultimate, real great God Gundam display. Anyway, if you do want one of your own, there's a link down there in the description. You can get yours at BUYEE. That is where I got mine. I'll throw any tags that you'll need to find it on BUYEE down there too. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews. That will be tomorrow and every day for the foreseeable future, because I need to get these things built and packed away forever. Well, forever until I move. But anyway, see you next time. As always, this video and every video would not be possible without each and every one of you guys who watches my videos. And special thanks to those of you who are supporting me over on Patreon and on the channel members, including Caleb Engelhart, Global Frequency Studios, Go Little Rockstar, Gunpla UK Limited, Joe, Kill Me Inc., Lawrence Seahak, RG59061, and Van Fawn.